There we go.
Got it.
Awesome.
Hello.
Hey, Christine. Good to see you.
Hi, Christine. How are you today?
Oh, muted. I think you're muted, Christine. Sorry.
Classic. I thought it was a Friday till about an hour ago, so I have some sads.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Shoot. Sometimes you have kind of summer Fridays, though, right?
Yeah, next week.
Okay. That'll happen. Awesome. Good to see you. Hey, Leisha.
Hello.
Is it Leisha?
Leisha, yes, correct.
hi, Leisha. Hi, Ariel.
Hi.
Welcome. Oh, I was so ready to play some music as we, let people roll in, but Zoom was not agreeing with me. Sometimes Zoom lets me play music. Sometimes it tells me that I need to download something, but I don't know why. It works sometimes and doesn't work other times. Doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. All good. We will wait just like another minute and then we can kind of dive in to what we have for today.
Yeah, in light of thinking it was Friday, Christine, what was the plan for the weekend coming up? Do you have anything on the docket?
Golf.
Golf. There we go. I wasn't gonna say it. I wondered, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Do you say golf? You're a golfer?
I'm a very poor golfer. I always like to preface that with that, but yes.
That's awesome. Have you been golfing for a long time or?
It's embarrassing how bad I am with the number of years I've been playing. So when I became an empty nester, I picked it up so I would have something to do on my weekends.
That's awesome. Do you travel to go to different golf courses or do you? Okay.
Yeah, not so much since the pandemic hit, but we do. But we live on a course too, which makes it nice.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, my dad is a big golfer and I feel like anywhere we travel, it's like the first thing he looks up is there a fun course nearby?
Yep.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, we'll get started and as people come in, they can join. But welcome to part 2. This is a long time coming, part 2 for this customer focused offline campaign workshop session. We will be, I guess I'll introduce myself, Katie Castillo. I am our global campaign strategist. And my role is really focused on enabling Postal admins and users to get the most out of the platform, thinking a little bit more strategically about how we can be using Postal for different use cases. So from brainstorming an initial concept for a campaign to crafting content that goes with that campaign. I have background just in content writing for mostly for sales, to enabling, marketing and sales teams to execute those campaigns. My time is included. I'm a resource for you as part of your Postal partnership to help build out those out-of-the-box offline programs that will drive ROI for you and your companies. Today, we're going to be diving into just big picture, how I approach building offline campaigns, so formula. Our first kind of customer-focused offline workshop, we talked a lot about onboarding and renewal strategies and using offline touchpoints as part of onboarding and driving those renewal conversations. I included those just as a refresher for this, but today we're going to be talking a little bit more about rapport building during a customer relationship and then upselling and renewal, our upselling and expansion strategies. And we'll talk a little bit about User Gems, one of our customers, and how they are using Postal. First question, you guys, it's a small group, so come off and tell me, where in the world are you joining us from? I am in Duluth, Minnesota. It's called someone told me this week, it's like the SF of the Midwest, apparently. but right on Lake Superior. It's the most beautiful place in the summer and not so much in the winter, but we bear through it. How about everyone else? Where are you joining us from?
Florida.
Beautiful place. Love
Yeah.
it.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Really? Yeah.
I'm from Canada, so I'm used to that snow.
Oh, you get it. You get it. How about you, Christine?
I'm in Omaha, so a lot like you.
Okay, love it. Cool. And then favorite summer 2023 memory. Couple for me. I ran my first marathon, which was very exciting. I don't think I'll ever do it again, but it was a good experience. And then my family and I we do a little cabin weekend. It's a week every summer with my family. So those were two. Anyone have a highlight so far of your summer?
I don't even know where my summer went, to be honest. I feel like just going to the pool and relaxing. My girlfriend who she's one of my best friends, her and her husband go with me and my husband, and we hang out. But I'm actually going on my honeymoon in 3 weeks and we're going to Maui. So I don't know if that's going to be happening. But so I think that's going to be my I guess that's still considered summer, but an extended summer highlight.
Totally. Were you guys planning to go to like the north side or?
No, not. I mean, we actually were looking at some resorts over there, so thank God we didn't. We're actually staying over in Wailea Beach area, so it seems fine. I was looking at the hotel. I keep like refreshing every couple hours, and I'm like, is it moving? Where is everything? But it seems fine, and I'm hoping in 3 weeks from now we'll be okay. But
Okay.
we're doing Maui and then Oahu.
Okay, got it.
So
That would be amazing.
need to maybe talk about some backup plans, maybe switching our first island or something. But
Yeah, highly recommend Kauai. We've been
that's
there.
what a lot of people have said.
Yeah, I mean, they call it the Adventure Island, I think, but there's just, oh my gosh, so many gorgeous spots. And like you can traverse the whole island basically in a day, which is big.
We might be going there. I'll let you know if we do. I'll get some pointers from you.
Love it. Yeah. All right. Well, we can dive in here. So when we think about using Postal as a lever to drive customer outcomes, there are obviously many strategies that we can employ, from onboarding to relationship management, to expanding revenue through cross-sell or upsell initiatives, to retention and driving our retention rate. If, as we're talking through, if any of these kind of catch your eye and you want support implementing one of these plays, feel free to grab time on my calendar at the end of our time together. Something else, I didn't really mention it, but there are a couple QR codes throughout to redeem some gifts throughout the slideshow. And you guys, there's 3 of them, so you can each get one, which is so fun. Big picture formula for executing offline campaigns. Typically when I start planning with a customer, right, we're understanding the context for the campaign. Where are we going to like kind of draw the gift from? So with Postal, there's several different strategies that we can use here. And then the sending strategy, which is, how are we actually sending that gift? There's a couple options within Postal. And then if there are multiple teams involved, how are we enabling those teams to execute the strategy? So campaign context, these are a couple of the questions, right, that we're going to unpack as we plan a campaign. What are your goals? What's the timeline we're working with? Target audience for this campaign? What's the budget we have to work with? Teams that are involved in the execution of this play? How are we defining success? And then what tactics and tech stack do you have at your disposal to execute? And from there, it's just kind of a mix and match, right? Depending on the context of your campaign, I or you might go one direction, right? If we have a lot of time on our hands, so maybe this is a campaign we want to execute in 3 months or so, we might recommend Paper Plane. Paper Plane is an internal creative agency. I don't know if you guys have all had a chance to work with them, but they are basically it's a white glove service for creating custom branded kits. Timeline for creating something with them is around the 4 to 8 week mark from first kickoff meeting to the items being live in the marketplace for you to send. And then there's postal warehousing, so creating kits or bundles. These are great for kind of pick and pack strategies. So maybe we want to roll out a couple use cases where it's, we want to enable our CSMs or our account managers to send a t-shirt with a custom note or a hat with a custom note. We don't want to pre-package those into a kit. We want to bundle them together in the marketplace and have those live on the platform for CSMs to send out for different customer use cases. So warehouse is great for those options. And then obviously we have thousands of items within the marketplace to send. And as far as sending strategy, as far as like the actual, how do we want to send this? Sending direct is we have their address and we want to maybe surprise and delight these folks with a gift. And then sending via magic link, which is, great for cross-channel. You can drop a magic link in an email and a LinkedIn message, tie it to an advertisement. There's lots of ways to use that magic link. The other benefit of magic links is it doesn't draw down your budget when you send a gift, as opposed to the personalized gift email, which is my preferred way to send gifts. It kind of feels like an unboxing experience for the email recipient because it is a branded experience, but it does draw down your budget as well. The other benefit of personalized gift emails is sending on behalf of people. So you could send a gift on behalf of an executive if you were doing kind of a peer-to-peer executive play. We could talk a little bit more about that later too. But if you weren't here last time, we talked about some strategies for onboarding and driving user adoption at the start of customer relationships. These are a couple of the plays that we talked through. First one being kind of a onboarding celebration kit, creating, a curated unboxing experience with paper plane to, celebrate either starting customer onboarding or completing it, maybe even re-engaging them if those new customers have been ghosting you during the process. Creating like a custom swag kit with a signed note from your CEO is a great way to make an impact from the start of your relationship. Onboarding gamification. So there are typically, key customer milestones when you're onboarding or implementing a new customer. So how can we incentivize customers getting to those milestones quicker? So how can we use gifts to kind of gamify the process? So for instance, for Postal, if we know that sales users, they'll see more success if they are using Postal more, if they're sending out gifts. So we might gamify, the first SDR to send 25 gifts is going to get a gift, right? So that's one example of how we might gamify that for the user. And then last, direct mail drip campaigns. So this is super low cost, high impact if you approach it strategically, but building within Postal, you can build subscriptions, right? So if we wanted to, for the first 3 months of a customer's life cycle, if we wanted to send, a postcard to them each month, that's kind of driving home. Maybe it's a tip, or maybe it's a use case that's going to be especially important for them as they ramp up using your tool, your solution. Just sending a postcard, it's another channel. It has 100% open rate as well. So just getting in front of them in a new way. Customer sentiment with Postal. So great customer experiences lead to 42% of consumers purchasing again. So how are we building great customer relationships today? How can we build personalized offline touch points into the day-to-day relationships with our customers to build rapport? And when I think about this, I think, my conversations with customers, typically it's either marketing and account executives who are executing a campaign together, marketing and like a BDR or an SDR team for more of a top of funnel play. When I think about the customer sentiment, there is still kind of an end user that marketing might be partnering with for this. And it might be like the account manager or the customer success manager. So building customer sentiment. First play here, building custom kits with paper plane, and partnering with your CSMs or your AMs to target top priority customers for an end of year customer appreciation play. It's not too soon. I know it's August, but the holidays are right around the corner. It's not too soon to start thinking about this. It's also like, if you didn't want to do more of a custom play, you could create collections using Postal's on-demand marketplace. We do have some great on-demand like branded options too, like Nom's Cookies is a good one, or One Hope Wine, where you can have your logo on those as well. So you could still do kind of a brand awareness play, even from the marketplace. Milestone celebrations, we'll talk more about this a little bit in a minute, but the idea is creating standard collections for different milestones in a customer's journey with you to create templates for your CSMs or your AMs to send out as they learn of those milestones. So a little bit of a setup initially, but then it's something that is just evergreen that your CSMs could use throughout the customer life cycle. And then community engagement days is another fun idea. So I don't know if anyone else is constantly monitoring fun or silly reasons to celebrate like random days, but there's nationaldaycalendar.com is like one place I always go to. Today is actually National S'mores Day. So a couple of these gifts are s'mores related. But building out monthly engagement days where, you're offering a giveaway based on customer engagement in online communities is a great way to inspire not only conversations and connections between your customers, but you're also building rapport and excitement among them as well. So if you have an online community, it's a great way to build some excitement there. So just a reminder of kind of the formula here with milestone celebrations. Just wanted to take a little bit of a deep dive here. 20% of Postal usage at User Gems actually comes from their customer success team. And they use Postal to send personalized gifts to get in front of their champions and as part of customer celebrations. And one example is their User Gems branded baby box. So whenever a contact has a new baby, CSMs have the opportunity to celebrate with them by sending this gift over, either through a magic link in a template or a personalized gift email. And kind of the sending strategy for this is an example of what one of those emails looks like for them. But you're creating collections for various life celebrations, everyday use cases. These are more focused on like personal, right, for rapport building, but like weddings, birthdays, engagements, loss of a loved one, graduation, promotions. You could build milestones too around like company milestones too. So that's something to think about. But crafting saved message templates within Postal for various lifestyle or life milestones to make it easy for them to send these gift emails out to recipients. Here's a couple examples of collections, and we'll send this deck out to you as well so that you can basically copy and paste these if you would like in your own Postal instances. But engagement, promotion, renewals. This one is kind of a less than $50 collection, chocolates, champagne flutes. Layla's is a great vendor that's both, I think, gluten-free and vegan. So just something for everyone there. Birthday is another great one. sickness, whether that's, someone in their household is sick or they're sick themselves. Just a great relationship builder to say, if a customer were to message, sorry, can't make our call. My toddler is, incapacitated right now. No worries, like sending over chocolate maybe for that, but also like get well soon kits. And then this is a fun one, just a new pet one. Or if you find out, a customer has a pet, just as a fun little rapport builder. Implementation recommendations for this. So depending on if they have like an engagement platform that they're using, like an Outreach or a Sales Loft, creating templates in Outreach or sequences, where Postal admin might create these collections ahead of time, and whoever on your team would embed the magic links to those collections in templates or in sequences, making it super easy for the CSM to add a contact to that relevant sequence, or send that template out. Another option would be to create those collections and then have, in the CSM Slack group, have those collections pinned at the top of the page, just so it's in their workflow, like they know exactly where to look for it, and easy for them to copy and paste those into their email, like just normal email communications. Once, those collections are created, and the messaging is created, also recommend like scheduling just a training, right, with your CSM, just to enable them on how do we actually implement these? How do we use collections? The other thing that I don't know, maybe you guys are familiar with the Chrome extension, but this is probably the I don't know, one of the number one things I would love for you to take away, just in terms of enabling your kind of end users, sales users, CSMs, BDRs to use Postal wherever they're working from. So the Postal Chrome extension essentially allows you to send a gift to anyone, from, you could be on their LinkedIn, you could be on their Outreach. It just pops up on the side and it will register if they're a contact that exists either within Salesforce, and you have kind of that two-way connection between Salesforce and Postal, or you can create them as a contact in Postal right from this screen as well, to send an item right from here. So if I were, sending, let's say I found out I was sick, right? We have a couple collections already created for the CSMs to use. Would just be searching for sick collections, select that. You can send a personalized email straight from here. If we create saved messages for CSMs to use, taking, all the heavy lift off of them, you can search for the saved message when your contact is sick, and it just pops in that message, makes it really easy for them to send this right there. So that's something I would recommend just as a kind of a takeaway is, are there a couple specific use cases or milestones that we can build? Maybe it's like 3 or 4 collections to start with for our CSM, so they can use Postal just in their everyday conversations to build rapport with their customers. The time always flies with this, but okay, tapping into expansive revenue using Postal. So for cross sells, upsells, and expansion plays, sometimes the hardest part I feel like of an upsell or a cross sell strategy can be holding, the champion that you're working with, their attention long enough to share the added benefits or pain points you can solve for an additional business segment. Using virtual experiences in Postal is one way to make it easy for your champion to make the intro for additional business units by hosting, a fun virtual experience to land and expand in key enterprise accounts. So partnering with, your current champions to invite those other business segments for a low key opportunity to learn about how that segment, that business unit has driven value with your company over custom cocktail experiences. Direct mail and Magic Link campaigns. So an understanding of how your customers are using your products will, help you in formulating plans to upsell them. So let's say your company sells software and data analysis reveals that customers who buy the basic version of your platform outgrow its capabilities by 7 months, 8 months. This trigger could be an ideal time, right, for you to kick off a direct mail campaign, leveraging Postal Magic Links with the QR code to drive upsell conversations. So using those postcards, maybe it's every month or every other month, you're sending a postcard with a gift offer on there in exchange for a conversation about, the upsell, comparing the features and capabilities of the basic version to the pro version. Maybe you're highlighting a customer who made that transition successfully and the impact that made for them, or maybe you're offering a discount for the upgrade. It's just, the idea is right, just getting using another channel to get in front of them at specific trigger points in the customer journey that makes sense for an upsell. And then this is a little more just basic, but custom expansion kits with paper plane. So thinking about multi-threading key contacts in expansion conversations. So creating a kit through paper plane to do that. Diving into one example here. So virtual experiences for cross-selling. Depending on your goals, you would be identifying companies, accounts, or customers that have a high likelihood to need X product or X more users. Your target audience for this could be as limited as one customer where there's a huge opportunity for expansion, or it could be targeting a small group of customers who are in a similar vertical or a similar industry to expand your audience a little bit more. If you haven't explored Postal's virtual experiences, this is, would highly recommend you doing so. There are all kinds of options for experiences, but for prospecting plays or for upsell or expansion motions, there are definitely a few experiences we recommend because they build, like our vendor partners will build in time for you to either do a mini demo of your solution or pitch. So like cocktail tastings, wine tastings, chocolate, beer, cold brew tastings. These are all great options. There are other options on the marketplace like chair yoga or pizza making that don't lend themselves well as much to a natural break where you can fill with content or share a case study or strike up interest about an additional product you're hoping to sell. But yeah, check out the Postal Marketplace for this. These work best when you have buy-in with, the team that you are executing this campaign, right? So I always recommend from the beginning, you're working with, in this case, it might be like the account managers or the CSMs, right? For a specific group of target accounts, and they are bought into this strategy of inviting them. Maybe you're providing, the content for the invitations, but the execution for it is going to rely on them to a large extent, their personal relationships. We talked a little bit about that already, but the sending strategy. So this is kind of a sample sequence I put together for a customer. If the goal is getting customers to a custom mixology class, how can we get there essentially? I would always recommend, there's kind of the first step of syncing with your current champion. Determine their level of buy-in, their willingness to refer you or extend the invitation for the event on your behalf internally. If there is buy-in there, then it's providing that champion with an intro email that's looping in the account manager to do kind of a follow-up and invite those contacts through a magic link to the event. Also great if you can just arm those champions with the magic link as well. So maybe 2 to 3 days after that email sent, they're sending a little magic link via Slack or whatever. If, the current champion isn't a great person to connect with, we might do a different like email campaign in partnership with the CSMs, with, a series of emails like a warm up, postal event email invite, where you could send, the invitation from the postal marketplace itself. And then you're partnering with the CSM to do like a follow-up call, LinkedIn, and then just continued outreach. I definitely don't underestimate, I guess, the opportunity of leveraging execs as part of these plays and sending a gift and more of that peer-to-peer play. But yeah, this is one example of a sample sequence. I know we're a little bit over. These are just the last two. We went over these last time, but leveraging gifts as part of your EBRs that your CSMs or AMs are running, building excitement, creating FOMO, and then incentivizing customer surveys just as part of the customer lifecycle. Learning earlier, like customer sentiment, basically, will allow you to drive those renewal conversations sooner, quicker. But yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'm here if you want to plan more specific campaigns. You can use this link to grab time. And we have another one coming up on the 24th. This one is going to be more user focused. So if you have SDRs, BDRs, account executives who are building pipeline, I'm going to be talking about integrating Postal into everyday workflow. So that concludes our time for today.